Hi guys, and welcome to this tutorial on how to make your very own network cable or Ethernet cable. Now, typically when you go to a store, you can buy your own Ethernet cable and don't have to go through the trouble. And one from the store typically looks like this. It comes ready done. They typically come in lengths of about 3 feet, 6 feet, 12 feet, 50 feet, 100 feet, and so on. But sometimes you might want a special cable that's maybe shorter than 3 feet or maybe somewhere between 20 and 50 feet. So it's always good to create sometimes your own cable so that it meets just that right length, you know. So we're gonna create our own cable today, and just letting you see that the cables that you typically buy, if you look inside of it, you will see the color set. Now they have these boots on them, and the boots are this part right here. The boot actually helps the cable from bending too much, so it reduces some of the stress on the cable end. Alright, so this cable is a Cat5 cable. The rest of the website you can find out more about the types of cables: Cat5, Cat6, Cat7, and so on. So here we go. So first let's talk about the tools we need. So we need a wire stripper, and these come in a variety of types, but basically they come with the types of wire that they can strip. If you don't have a wire stripper, you can use a pretty sharp scissors. And if you do have a crimp tool, which is something you do need, the crimp tool typically has its own wire stripper end right here, so you can actually put the wire in and strip it off. So tools you need: wire stripper, crimp tool, and of course some Ethernet cable. Now we're using Ethernet cable that is Cat5, and to you actually know what gauge the cable is, if you, let's see if I can focus in here, it'll say it on the cable right here, Cat5e. Right, so we're using Cat5e cable today. And finally, you need your network ends, so one for each end of the cable. Okay, so we have all our tools. Let's get started. So the first thing we do, step one, you get the end of the cable, you get your wire stripper, and what you do, you just place your cable inside of the wire stripper, give it a good twist, and pull it right off, just like that. And inside of the cable you're gonna have 4 pairs of wire and one little piece of string. So usually I like to cut the piece of string off. The piece of string is usually used so that you can actually pull the sheath of the cable down a little more, but I think this is pretty good. Now I cut off about maybe a little over an inch of the sheath. Alright, so don't need that. Okay, so now that we have our wires exposed, the next step, step 2, straighten out your wires. Now I got a tip from an old gentleman. He has been doing this for quite some time, and he told me that, you know, to help your fingers, especially if you do this for a long period of time and do this for many cables, in order to straighten out your wires, what you can do, you can take that piece of sheath that you took off, you can put it over the wire, squeeze, and straighten it out. Put it over the wire, squeeze, and straighten it out. Works pretty good. So that's a little tip from him to me to you. So untangle your wires. Notice that they're all bent up, put it over, squeeze, straighten it out. This one, squeeze, straighten it out. Alright, less pressure on your hands. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, now that we have our wires separated, we are going to straighten out our wires and then put them in order. And we're going to put them in order in the standard B. We take our wires and we put them in that order, straightening them out, and we'll just fast forward. The magic of video. Now that we have them all straightened out, we can just trim the edges. We can use our scissors for this, or we can use our crimp tool. Making sure it's nice and straight. So now that we have our ends all straight, we put our network end on, but we're making sure that we put it on upside down with the little clip underneath here. So we slide the wires in, making sure it's still in that white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, white, brown, brown. So when we slide it in, make sure that the wires go right up to these teeth right here. Right, so that when you crimp it, these teeth will actually go into the wire right here. So make sure your wires go all the way up. All the way up. Okay, so finally, last step. Once we have our wires in, you're looking for your network crimp tool, Ethernet crimp tool. You're looking for your Ethernet crimp tool. Take the tool, make sure you have the blunt end on this side, not the end with the jagged region. We're putting the blunt side right here into here. So you just push it in and then give it a squeeze. Good, solid squeeze. Okay, and that's it. Then you can push it out. And that is how you do your network cable. Now, if you have a cable tester, what you can do after you crimp both sides of the cable, this side and of course the other side, you can test the cable to see if your cable works. Or you can just take it, plug it into your router, and then plug it into your laptop and see if it works. But if you follow those steps, you should have a fully functioning cable once you crimp this side and of course crimp in the other side. Alright, thanks for watching. Happy cabling.